Look at how to build a lead generation bot in under 5 minutes. In this tutorial, we'll be looking at how to collect a user's name, email, phone number, and store that data into a database. The beauty lies in the fact that you just have to build this out once and it'll work across all your channels and across all the languages, which will auto-translate based on what you've added to the bot. So let's get started. Let's first head over to Studio. And Studio is where all of our automation lies today. Within Studio, you can go into the home flow and click on create a new flow and create from scratch for this demo. So click on lead details, is what we'll call the flow for now. And the flow, you can think of it as a conversational journey through which you want to take the user through. And we'll add a set of nodes here. So we have multiple types of nodes, and we just want to take inputs from the user here. So we'll say, okay, I want to ask the user for their name. So you can always edit this text however you'd like. For now, I'll just leave it as it is and store the response inside a variable called name. And we're performing automatic validation. So if they type gibberish, if they type a full sentence that's not a name, we'll be able to identify it. And we'll say, okay, we'll ask them to repeat their name. Let's do this for the email as well, where we'll have its own type of validation. And let's do this for phone, where I'll select an ISD code. So let's pick the Indian ISD code for now and select a global variable called phone. You can always create your new variables based on your requirements, and then store this response inside a database node. Now you can make API calls to send this data across to your backend systems, or you can always use our in-house database to perform the same functions. If you were to use sort of your own post calls, you can use the API node. For now, we'll just be using a database node. So now where does this database sit, right? On the left-hand side, you can find a database section. Let's click on add a new table and call this user details, right? And make sure there aren't spaces or capital letters in the names. Let's call this user name, user email, and user phone, right? And the data type are all string because we're storing the various responses as a string in the bot flow. Let's make sure that we're consistent here, otherwise there will be an error. Let's create the table, and you have a simple Excel sheet sort of database, right? No code involved, just simply creating it by point and click. Now that we have the database set up, without having to write any code or any sort of functions, SQL, anything of that sort, you can insert the data directly into a table called user details, where the user name column contains the name that I just got from the user. The user email column contains the email that I just got from the user. And user phone has the phone number. And I'll say, if this happens successfully, just thank the user. So thanks name, right? Thanks variables.name. And if this fails for some reason, let's just say, oops, technical difficulties, right? Technical issues, let's leave it at that. Now, how do we start this flow, right? Let's go back to the home flow, give the page a quick refresh, just to make sure all the flows have been set up. Click on edit. And right now, whenever a user lands on the bot, we're showing them this message once. Hey, welcome to yellow.ai. If I click on home, find that it shows this message once. I want to send this message and then trigger the lead details flow. So I click on execute flow, click on lead details. And now that it's saved, close the modal and click on this. It'll say, hey, welcome to yellow.ai. Can you please share your name? So I'll say, my name is Gautam. And I'll say, my email ID is Gautam@yellow.ai. And the phone number, let's try a random number that doesn't make sense, right? It'll automatically identify that this is an invalid number, and we'll have to enter the valid one. So let's say 10 digits, 2, 3. And now that the valid details have been set up, we'll get a thanks Gautam message because this is a success state. So if you go into the database node, all the details have been set up. If you notice, the username automatically fetched just Gautam and not the entire string. And we have some automatic timestamps that we're also adding along with the data point. And there you go. You have your very first flow. Now, without having to rebuild this at all, without having to translate these messages manually, if you add languages and if you configure your other channels, the flow will work as it is. You'll have to add no extra effort for the same. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out on community.yellow.ai, and we can pick it up from there. Have a good one.